your girl LD Marie, and we're back with another episode. Today is Founders Day. Yes, it is January 15th, 2023, and it is the greatest sorority that's ever been known, Founders Day. We have founded ourselves um, over 100 years ago, actually 115 years ago to be exact, and as the first and the finest black woman sorority. We're a historically black sorority, and I'm proud to say that we are the first and the finest, and we are the pretty girls who run the world. I'm super excited just to kind of get you dived into my experience and my story as far as like my growth within the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority organization. So just starting out from when I was just a baby Neo until 11 years into the organization. So let's go. Yeah. So let's get into it. Let's get into just my experience in being initiated into this organization. And so a lot of people know that with joining an organization like this, it's discretion is key. Discretion is very much key. So there wasn't a chapter at Midwestern State University that was active. Now, um, but there was still different people. There was some AKAs that were on the campus, but the chapter wasn't active. And so when I tell you that when I went to every Greek like picnic and I saw them, and I eventually ran into the graduate advisor, and she told me per se that like things you well, as far as requirement goes, I couldn't join that first semester because I had to have at least one semester under my belt. Even though technically I already had college courses, but I had to wait. So next semester I finally just waited and I saw the flyers, and so when I saw the flyers, I definitely made sure, because the thing about it is when you're going into a discrete organization, they're not going to tell you when, they're not going to tell you how. You just got to look out for them. And so I looked out. I finally found them, and then I went through the process. I will not divulge my process because I mean, some people do that, some people don't. I choose not to. But I do. But I can tell you that Alpha Kappa Alpha is a non-hazing organization, and I did not experience any hazing behaviors while I was within the intake process for the organization, and that is the God honest truth. Um, and so going through the process, I had one line sister throughout the process, and we were essentially reactivating the chapter. My profile that was before me, she had a line of three just before, and so we were just trying to get back the chapter on Midwestern State University's campus. And I went through the process. There was some good and there was some bad, and there are some things that, of course, with any woman organization, you're going to experience. You're going to experience hate. You're going to experience like different types of things. You're going to experience like not necessarily jealousy, but just other perceived women that would want like, okay, well, because this is an illustrious organization, you should act this way or that way. But I politely told them that I am who I am first and foremost, regardless of anybody else, like regardless of whether I have these letters on or not. My name is LD Marie, and that is first and foremost. Everything else is second. That's basically how I put, like, you accepted me into the organization because of me by me. So I'm still going to be me by me with my letters on. It's going to be point blank period, which also has caused a lot of issues moving forward as me growing within the organization. But it's not going to deter who I am and who I'm about. I'm still going to represent me, and then when I am in my letters, I will represent me and also represent what the organization stands for. Now that I'm in a different country and nobody knows what sororities are in this country, they don't really know what sororities are. They don't have those here. And so, of course, when I'm in my letters, I will inform them of what the organization is and how it stands for. But at the end of the day, it's still about who is what within this organization. And so there's a certain standard with any organization. It's not just with sororities and fraternities. It's with every organization because people are getting fired for saying certain things that they don't that, that are their personal opinions, but they're representing their organization. Hell, you don't even have to have letters and stuff on just for people to be calling out for your job for different things. I mean, that's how it is, and I don't deter people from doing that, but also I can separate myself and what the organization is on each and daily basis. Now, if I'm in like news and politics and everything else, of course you can't really separate because you have to have personal, you have to have private life, you have to have your political life, and you have to stand on your views. But hopefully within the political spectrum, your personal and your political views are the same, and something that you would do in personal that you would do publicly. So it should be the same either or. It's like there was a viral video of one of the representatives they twerking for votes. Now I know Prop 9 and 10 they were twerking previously, but I don't think twerking for votes should be added into there's okay. Excuse me, let me get some water. But I mean, hey, but if that shows your personality as a politician and that's how you build your platform, then by all means. But for me, as a political social media manager, I'm like, we can twerk for votes, but let other people twerk for votes, not for you. I was like, it can land good or it can land bad, but I still, as the social media manager, I still have to deal with it. So hey, it's what it is. Um, I mean, same thing with my personal brand and my personal videos and this and any other things that I come about. Like I'm gonna show who I am on every single one and different facets of who I am. And so it's the same thing with Alpha Kappa Alpha. I I have worked within the chapter abroad, and I've worked in a chapter in locally, and so it doesn't really change how who I reflect or anything like that. And I've basically told people that within the organization, that yeah, this is who I am. You you know who I was, and I have a personal, and this is what it is. There's those three little dots there. They can easily unfollow me. I have said that, and it's fine. People say it, and people have different views, and that's where people have different outlooks of different organization how you should represent. Hey, that is that is what it is. But I mean, I feel like I'm grateful and I'm understanding of the organization that I've chosen to be a part of. My values and my morals match with the organization, but I also have personal values and morals and expectations for myself. And one of those is to be the most authentic me possible. And that's what it is. I'm not going to be stuttered or shrunken down just because of something else. And if it comes about, then it comes about. People lose their letters for less than for more things, and I'm not going to lose my letters because I post myself in a bikini or I'm twerking for Jesus. As long as I'm not twerking for Jesus with the AKA symbol on it, then just, it is what it is. But yeah, so back to I joined the organization in March of 2012, and I was crossed. I initiated in March, and that's when the work actually started for me. I was immediately elected president, chapter president of my chapter, and then my chapter whittled down to just little old me my senior year, spring semester, where then I crossed four wonderful young ladies into the organization, and then now I know that the chapter at Midwestern State is still thriving and still moving ahead, but it was just that reincarnation that started in fall of 2011, and we continued on until now to where it's still a thriving undergraduate chapter. And then once I moved on from college, I graduated. I didn't become financial right away after graduation because I was trying to figure out life. And then I had a love-hate relationship with the graduate chapter, so I was like, I'm not going to join the grad chapter because I dealt with them in undergrad, and I really didn't want to deal with them when I was a graduate, when I first graduated from college. So I wasn't active, I wasn't financially active for a while. Then I joined the Psi Theta Omega chapter in Arlington, Texas when I moved back to get my master's in social work. And when I tell you that was a whirlwind experience going through that chapter, I really grown within that chapter. And then also now I'm at a point where now I'm in the UK. They still have love for me. Most of them still check in with me. They check in with me from time to time. I check within time to time. They are secretly stalking my social media pages, just for whether it be dance videos, whether it be different things that I'm doing. But they always have like an eye on me, and so I do appreciate big sister looking out from abroad. But I mean, I made connections, and then also within that chapter, it grew my love for social media, and so Stop Theta Omega was the reason why I put my foot into social media, and I started doing social media for a regional conference. I was gonna be doing social media for I think it was gonna be for Boulé at one point, but I don't know. I don't think I got that far, but I know I got to the regional level, and doing social media for there. I've done social media events for the chapter. I was even a social media chairman for 2 years, and that's where I kind of honed in on my social media talents. There were some good days, there were some bad days. I identified my weaknesses on social media, aka grammar, or me reading too fast on certain things, and so it was just a different atmosphere, and I've grown and I love social media because of my work that I did with Alpha Kappa Alpha. And I still rep Alpha Kappa Alpha to this day. And there's nothing changing about my status. Just right now, I'm not financially active. And that's okay. Sometimes you gotta step away. Sometimes you can't afford the chulos because it takes money, but it also takes money to do a service to all mankind. But that doesn't stop the work. That doesn't stop the drive that you do. Just because you're not financially active doesn't necessarily mean that you're not doing the pillars of where the organization stands for. So I am proud to say that I love my AKA, and I will love it to the day I die. And I love the connections and just the fortitude of the sisterhood. I really do, because anytime that someone knows that you're Alpha Kappa Alpha woman and they're Alpha Kappa Alpha woman, you're greeted with love, you're greeted with respect. And not everybody is your sister. And there's a difference between soror and sister. Not everybody's your sister, but everybody is your soror. So you distinguish those two differences, and you'll have a good time. And there's going to be the ups and downs of your journey, but I'm super excited that I have experienced the past almost 11 years within this organization to say that I have grown from the very first time that I was this girl that threw up her pinky the very first time to this woman that I'm sitting here and just waiting to see what else is going to be happening within the future. So thank you so much for letting me talk about my experience, my love for my organization on this illustrious day of January 15th, 2023. And I can't wait to what's more in store, because those milestones are slowly but surely coming. The 25th, the 50th, oh Jesus, I don't even know. But I know hopefully I see the pearl status and the diamond status as my sorors would know. But this is your girl LD Marie, and we are. Don't forget to subscribe and like to my channel, and there'll be more videos about different things that happen here. Because my channel is all about being American expat, social work, travel, politics, and pop culture. So you don't want to miss anything. You can see me on video form, or you can do your audio pleasures of Spotify, Anchor, Google, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. So let me know. Just subscribe, like, and follow me. Also follow me on Instagram, because Let Them See Your Mind has an Instagram. So come on, follow, subscribe, like, comment. Let me hear you make some noise.